Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahahakbarash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. And this is from the Daily Mail, .co. And as you can see here, Esau, Edom, the fugitive, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan on the planet Earth is at it again. As we get closer and closer to the end, more and more is going to come out, dealing with the truth of who he really is. And we already know how Esau, Edom is when it comes to dogs and animals, and what they're really up to, especially, these so-called zoologists, and famous Edomites, who deal with animals. Married British zoologist who worked for BBC alongside his wife and David Attenborough admits to raping and torturing dozens of dogs at his animal shelter in a case that has shocked Australia. Now, if you don't know who David Attenborough is, you can just do a search on him. Pretty much when you watch a lot of, BBC documentaries dealing with animals, you always hear a particular voice. And the dog walked across the snow. That guy. All right. You think he's not a part of it as well? All right. All of these Edomites get down like this. And they're not going to escape. Even if they go back to the spiritual realm before, Yahweh Shai returns, they're going to return. All right. The Heavenly Father has his eyes on you, Edomites. And you're renowned and you become famous and you become, the voice, of animal rights and this. But meanwhile, this is what you're really into. Anyway, going back to this creep. See if we can pull it back up. All right. Married British zoologist, who worked for BBC alongside his wife. And you don't think his wife knew about this? Because apparently they are, he admitted, to sexually raping, 40 dogs. And it's more than that. All right. And he was basically sending the visuals and pictures, out on the dark web, which if you don't know anything about the dark web, pretty much, what we know, as far as the internet is just one small aspect. But there's all kind of portals and, sites and, all you have to, these devils that got all kind of stuff going on. You can type in something in the search engine that takes you to a whole another world where all kind of satanic, evil, and demonic, visuals, videos, pictures are shared. All right. A lot of it has to do with children. That's a big business in this world, where, raping and, molesting children is just, that's a part of the culture because who's ruling? The Edomites. Anyway, you don't think his wife knew about this? They're all in on it. And he's sitting here with this alligator. All right, look at this guy. See if we can pull him up. Look at this guy. What do you think happened with that alligator? You think it was just dogs? No, these people are the devil. Remember, years ago, the owner of what's that sandwich spot? It's a sandwich spot. Hold on, let me see. Here it is. Basically, he was the owner of Jimmy John. All right, but ultimately, there was a picture found of this dude naked, laying on top of a shark. What do you think that's all about? this is what these devils do. Okay, this is what they're into, and before it's all said and done, it's all going to be exposed. All right, Adam Britton, 51, tortured, all right, and sexually exploited more than 42 dogs until his arrest, and we know it's way more than that. A British crocodile expert, okay, so you know he didn't raw dog, you know, the hundreds and thousands of alligators and various other kind of animals. That's what they do. Okay? And they're presented and they go around as if they're these innocent, loving animal, caretakers. But this is what they do. The women do it too. The Edomite ain't right. Okay? Man, woman, and child. Okay? British crocodile expert has pleaded guilty to raping puppies and torturing more than 40 dogs, including his own pets, Ursa and Bolt. And you see these Edomites walking around with these dogs. That's what they do. All right? That's just in their nature. All right? The book of Job goes into that. Let's get the book of Job. This is Job 30, all right, which Job is symbolic of the nation of Israel. Right? His name means afflicted. All right? Now, when you read it, it says, but now they that are younger than I, which, all right, in spirit is the Edomites. Really, we're the elder. We're the firstborn in the heavens. All right? They came out first, at the time of, when Isaac and Rebekah had twins. But technically, they're younger than us. But now they that are younger than I have had me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. Like, nigga, I wouldn't even allowed you to be around my dogs and animals, because it was always known that these people weren't right. See? And now they're ruling over us. All right. It says, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. Okay. And ultimately they were ordained to be destroyed. This is the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. It says, for want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. All right. And we know that they are originally cave people. Okay, Mount Seir, where they dwelt, which before that, the Horites dwelt there. All right, which Horite means what? Cave dweller. All right, and later on in history, all right, they were known for being what? Caucasians, which are dwellers of the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, and at the time of the Byzantine Empire, the Dark Ages, all right, they were looked down upon, chased out of particular lands, pushed up into the mountains, man. Fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. All right, and the mallow root is where you get the marshmallow, all right, which now is just a big chunk of sugar. But in former time, it was associated with the mallow root, which is actually good for you. But this is what they ate, and they brought that spirit back, all right, with the s'mores and the marshmallow, because they're the Edomites. Just look up the mallow root. As a matter of fact, all right, the history of marshmallows. Ancient Egyptians were the first, and we're in Egypt again, to enjoy a gooey treat called marshmallow. All right, but it was as early as 2000 BC. The treat was considered very special, and it was reserved for gods and royalty. Marshmallow was made from the mallow plant, all right, that grows wild in marshes. Okay, so it's a root, okay, which Edom was eating those things, as he was, in the caves and in different places. All right. And you have now the s'more, but the original marshmallow was associated with the mallow root, or the mallow plant. Okay. Going back to Job, the 30th chapter, okay, who cut up mallows by the bushes. Look up the word mallows in the Hebrew, all right? Malawach. Mallow, plants that grows in salt marshes. There you go. And it's interesting that the Egyptians were big on that, and Esau is tied to that because Esau Edom is the modern day Egyptian. He's the modern day Pharaoh. But they who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. All right, as they were driven forth from among men, they cried after them as a thief. They were driven from human society, and people shout at them as if they were thieves. This is the original Edomite. This is what they really are. But according to prophecy, we know in the book of Daniel, all right, the Lord, all right, Daniel, the fourth chapter, I believe, 17th verse, maybe. All right. It says, this matter is by the decree, all right, of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, okay? And he giveth it to whomsoever he will, okay? He's the one who sets up these nations. He's the one, all right, responsible for you Edomites ruling right now. And he giveth it and set it up over it the bases of men. The lowliest of the people, the Lord is able to rise them up to rule. And this is what Job is speaking to, all right, here in this chapter, Job 30, okay, and 5. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and in the caves of the earth and in the rocks. Okay? And this is really the true spirit of you Edomites. This is why you build all of these high-ass buildings. This is why you put concrete all over the planet Earth. Don't you know concrete goes back to Rome? Okay? Concrete was a big thing in Rome. All right? And concrete basically puts you in the mind state of a cave. You know, you're walking on all of this hard concrete. Although the ancient Romans weren't the first to create concrete, they were the first to utilize this material widespread. Here you go. They were the first to, you know, create concrete bridges. Okay, because ultimately the earth is mimicking a cave. This is what they do. All right? We're not supposed to be walking on concrete. But under the rulership of the biblical Edomites, this is the norm, which is ruining people's backs, knees, and it's taking years off of your life. He's turning the earth into hell, living hell, man. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks, among the bushes they brayed, making noises, under the nettles where they gathered together. The Lord allowed them to be around particular herbs and roots to sustain themselves, because after that 1,000-year period, they came up out of the prison they were in, and eventually, to fulfill prophecy, the starting with the Renaissance until now, they've gained the fatness of the earth. The lowliest cave beast, all right, which going back to the garden, it was told to the serpent, see, they will crawl on their belly all the days of their life, meaning they will be the lowliest of the nations. But the Lord has allowed them to shave the hair off their back. Okay, and when they were in those caves, they were, you know, eating out of skulls, eating each other, popping animals. This is who they are now. All right, they're in positions of rulership, and everybody looks at them, you know, as they've hid under this term white, which is, you know, color psychology. When they deal with all kind of witchcraft. So putting that term white on themselves has pretty much put everybody in the spirit of him being innocent and, you know, trustworthy and loving and for the people. Okay, but we're living in a time where, let's get the scripture real quick. Let's see here. Isaiah 32. Isaiah 32 and 4. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. And that's happening through us receiving this, the Holy Spirit. Now we're preaching and he's been exposed. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Now people are starting to realize this guy ain't right. All right. In that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. And all of these Edomites, they're looked at as heroes. You hear their voices, on the BBC, and you think to yourself, the people think that they're angels, right? The vile person is no more being called liberal. Scoundrels will not be respected, and you are the scoundrel. Let's finish this out in Job. Get a few more and we'll close it out. Job 30:7. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. Didn't we just read that the Lord is going to give the kingdom, the rulership of the earth to the bases of men? They were viler than the earth. All right, let's look up this word vow. Because at one point he was looked at as the greatest thing going. All right, naga. Naka. Naka. This is the original nigga. All right. To strike, scourge, to smite. And that's what's going to happen to this guy. The Lord is going to scourge and smite you Edomites, man. You got to go. Okay. Your vow. You ain't right. Okay. Let's see the vow. Let's see if this is the same word. The vow person. All right. It says Nabal, foolishness, senseless fool. Root word Nabal, senseless, foolish. Okay. To sink or to drop down, to fall. And that's the symbolism of, crawling on your belly all of the days of your life, meaning you're a low person. It's a low down, dirty shame. What you Edomites doing in the planet Earth? You're children of fools. The progenitor of your nation gave away the birthright, all right, for a meal, which means he's insatiable, or he has no patience. He's not right. And now I am their song. I am their byword. They abhor me. They flee far from me. They spare not to spit in my face. And that was a the actual act, when they came out of the caves and eventually got, dominance over us Israelites. All right. It was well known that they would just spit in your face. But these vile beasts are now looking down on us, spitting in our face, abhorring us, ridiculing us. Adam Britton, 51, who grew up in West Yorkshire before moving to Australia, began his offending in 2014 and tortured and sexually exploited more than 42 dogs he called F-toys until his arrest in April of 2022. All right? Britton, an academic at Charles Darwin University. Well, that says it all. Okay? That dude, Darwin, was a complete demon. Okay, and just a bunch of Edomites who were high off all kind of drugs, molesting and torturing children and animals, just coming up with all kind of philosophies that now run and rule the world. Okay, Charles Darwin. Okay, he basically gave you the breakdown of the species on the planet Earth, the human species. Which was based upon pseudoscience, but then he himself didn't know the origins of plants. And then, on his deathbed, he admitted, his theory was just something, made up. It's a theory. And now those theories run the world. all right, who once hosted legendary broadcaster David Attenborough at his home. Do you think David Attenborough, all right, didn't go get him some dog, some gator? He has access to all kind of animals. Okay, but he's an angel of light in the eyes of the people. You hear his voice on those documentaries, it calms you down. You know, you like, wow. You're looking at the animals, the fish, but when those cameras go off, this is what they do. At his home, tortured 39 of those dogs to death in a horrific case of animal cruelty that has shocked the nation. And this ain't on the news big time like that. Married zoologist sexually abused his own Swiss shepherds. Okay. Britain would even film himself hurting the defenseless animals in what he called his torture room. All right. You don't think David Attenborough went to that room? Yeah, they're close friends. He invites him to his house. You don't think he himself got down like that? And it probably came. Of course they know, but of course a lot of these dudes are protected. Remember, this is the UK where Jimmy Savile, his crimes were covered up. He filmed himself doing this. This is how sick these people are. Like Hunter Biden filming himself smoking crack and doing all. These Edomites are really decrepit. He would film himself hurting defenseless animals in what he called his torture room, shipping container fitted with recording equipment, and post the sick material online. All right. Well, who else is posting on these things online? Where is this chat room at? All right. Who else is here? Because you hear these stories of all of these damn Edomites always getting caught. You know, with all of the child pornography, and it's he had over 20,000 photos. So where are these children, and who's he sending this to online? Why is this just a normal part of the Edomite rulership? But then they'll say that the climate and all of the vid-19 and all of that, those are demics. Those are pandemics. No, you Edomites are the pandemic. And you got to go. Okay? Britain, a leading zoologist who has worked with the BBC and National Geographic on production, stood calmly as he pleaded guilty to 47 counts, and we know it's way more, of animal cruelty. He also pleaded guilty on 4 counts of accessing and transmitting child abuse material, including toddlers being forced to engage in depraved acts. Yeah, look at this guy. This is Esau Edom. Look at him. Look at this guy. Yet Christians are chasing Israelites around? Oh, yeah. He's a part of it too. She's a part of it too. You Edomites are just completely wicked, man. Look at these people. What do you think they're doing to that alligator? In Egypt, they used to pop alligators. Oh, yeah. That is a demon. That's an Edomite. That's an Edomite right there. You notice this ain't all on the news like that. Anyway, see if it's on YouTube. Give me 1 second.
And then he's going to use these teeth here, these small. Yeah. It's going to open up the flesh so that when the animal.
Yeah, like the crocodile hunter. He was doing it too. That's why that stingray took his ass out. Oh God, look at his teeth. Look at this tongue. And then the camera go off and they go in. This is what they do.
Swallows it, all the very powerful stomach acids are going to get straight in there and start digesting it very efficiently.
And this is just a small story. Yeah, he pleaded guilty. Now put on your mask.
A renowned British crocodile expert, Adam Britton, has admitted to 60 charges relating to child abuse material and sexual abuse of animals. Britton.
And they making a big deal about the animals, which that's wicked. But the children thing, they're trying to just kind of throw that in the background. There's not even really too many videos on it. Well, we gonna cover it.
Okay, so I wanted to make a video after hearing some news that just really deeply, profoundly saddened and shocked me. This is the news of somebody that I once saw as an inspiration in my field as an
Yeah, your ass doing it too.
advocate for wildlife and conservation. A really, really sick and twisted man called Adam Britton. And I first discovered Adam Britton with his podcast talking about the wonder of image.
Yeah, I don't want to hear this. But, when you go into the scriptures, as Habakkuk is describing, the image of the beast and, things that they would do, leading to their judgment, their treatment of animals is a big part of it, of the judgment that they're going to receive and what they do. Because Habakkuk told us, give me 1 second here. He told us, all right, Habakkuk 2 and 4, concerning the end time, the final ruler, that, would have us in captivity and rule before judgment came and the Lord returned. You Edomites, Habakkuk 2 and 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So we're going to have to live by faith while this devil is ruling and doing all of this evil. Let's see here. Start at 16. For thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And that's what's happening. Shameful spewing. Okay? You're being judged. You're being exposed, boy. See? It's not just Jake. You look at the common theme is that Jake is the only ones doing wickedness, which Jake is wicked as hell. 2/3 of our people, they do stuff like this too. All right, but not on the level of you Edomites. You're the real criminals. The 2/3 are going to be dealt with. All right, but you Edomites, oh my goodness, man. Whoo. And we can't wait. For the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoil of beast. Okay, which made them afraid because of men's blood and for the violence of the land and of the city that dwell therein. This is all predicated upon idol worship. This is the importance of a righteous standard under Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua being established in the earth, because people will be judged for doing things like this. And he ain't gonna get no real time like that. According to the scriptures, if you lay with a beast, you and the beast gotta go. All right? Shaddai. Havoc, violence, destruction, devastation, ruin. You devastated and ruined the animals. Shawad, to ruin, destroy, spoil. You destroy the animals. Let's go to the law. So when the Lord returns, you Edomites are going to pay, man. Let's see here. Let's see here. Exodus 22:19. Whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death. And this is what the Canaanites were doing. The Egyptians, they were into this. See that? Ancient Egyptians portrayed bestiality on their tombs and in their hieroglyphs. They even used bestiality in their religious practices that were described as worshipful bestiality, including sexual acts with bulls and goats. Crocodiles too. See? We're in the Egypt again, right? Leviticus 20:5. If a man lieth with the beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. All right. And finally, let's get, Revelation, because they got all of these animals in captivity. Everything needs freedom from this devil, man. Revelation, the 18th chapter. These are the things that Babylon had in their possession. 13, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and wine and frankincense, oil, fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. All right. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after, okay, are departed from thee, and all the things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. Ultimately, the Lord is going to destroy you devils, man. All right. And Babylon the Great, which is the head of this beast system, okay, they got everything in captivity, including the animals. And look what they're doing to them. Okay. Look what they're doing to them. All right. So turn to the east. All right. And send up curses on these devils, man, because this place got to be destroyed. Shalom.